Hey there, everybody. How you feeling today? You all right? Nice to see you. Something weird happened this morning. I got up, went outside, looked at the sun, felt better about myself, you know. And my neighbor next door to me is an old guy, right? Kind of worn with the guy for, I don't know, 10 years now. For about 10 years he was cool with me, and then 10 years he doesn't like me. And he doesn't talk to me, complains about me. Sometimes he calls the cops. Hey, I think I saw a mosquito over by his house. You know what I mean? He's just always complaining about stuff. You know? Hey, your fence. Hey, But he's like, want to talk to you about something, buddy. The new mailman we have, he's a jerk. Hate him. So obviously you don't hate me anymore. Now he hates the new mailman. Hallelujah. A new friendship blossoms. Here we have a Kawai, the Hound Dog Taylor model. We love those, man. We love those, man. So it's definitely got some cool looking strap buttons. They're not the usual ones, but they look like the factory had installed them. This, I believe, is either a Sorrento or a Kingston. I might make it out to a Kingston because I kind of like the Kingston logo better than the Sorrento logo. But either way, you know what I mean? We'll see what we can do. It looks like the electronics are all there, complete. The knobs are there. That's beautiful. You know what I mean? They're getting more expensive by the day. Looks like the tremolo's just missing a spring. Looks like we could just open this up and put a spring in here. Doesn't look like too much work on that. Yeah. Other than that, it's missing its bridge. I want to put a cool, like, adjustable bridge. I have in my mind this idea because they have these cool, like, little, like, adjustable, you know, bridges where you can move each saddle back then in the 60s. A roller kind of bridge. Gretsch did it too, I think. But I want to try to dumb that out. There's a couple little ideas I have. I'm really excited about this one. I got this at $11 at the swap meet. It didn't cost very much money at all. It might have been $9 actually, now I think about it. I don't even think I had $11. One of them lucky things in life. Other than that, it's made in Japan. Beautiful little Kawai. We're going to get it running again. Whammying again. We're going to have a peaceful new lease on life. Just like my neighbor and I, you know what I mean? We put the past behind us. He might be dimensionized, man, and tomorrow, you know what I mean? I see him out there sucking the mailman's dick. You know, I don't know what's going to happen, man. You know what I mean? I thought I hated you. No, I was just kidding, man. I don't know. I'm going to flip you around before I, you know what I mean, get in trouble. All right. So, in the beginning, when I said I thought it was either Sorrento or Kingston, it's because of this pickguard. They both had examples of this instrument, this exact instrument, this exact spec. And they both have this pickguard. They're the only two that use this type of material on their pickguards. The only time the Osh was ordered from major manufacturer in the United States. So like I said, it looks like we got all electronics, man. It looks like the electronics are in good condition, man. I don't know if they work. We'll have to take it over to the amplifier. Do a little taparoni test. Switches are real tight. Don't seem like there's any fuck up. The nut is there in its beautiful condition. I can barely see any fret wear. You know what I mean? All these little bushings are here, which is a plus. You can see where the oval thing is missing, and that's definitely the Kingston logo if you look at it, because it's oval. And I believe that the Sorrento was like a shield shape. It's a later 60s because it's got those, you know what I'm saying, man? You know what I'm talking about. The dark steel, you know what I mean? It's like 69. This is another Kawai hallmark. Made in Japan stickers missing. Look at this weird thing. I thought this was factory. But then I think this guy might have just replaced the neck plate with this to give it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't look like it was injured anywhere. It's just bizarre. Isn't that bizarre? I also saw these big screws on another, like, Kawai. It was actually a Kawai one. You know what I mean? It was weird. It was like they had these big screws. It didn't have anything like this. That's just so strange. Is that a factory? I don't know. Look at these. Isn't that weird? Kind of weird looking. A little bit different than the run of the norm ones. Maybe they're not. I don't know. I'm tripping, man. Look at some little damage there. Wasn't really a big deal. Ugh, this is all wobbling around me. Annoying, you know what I mean, more than anything. You just take it apart and diagnose it. Missing a spring, probably. I don't know if we got the right spring, but we can get one if we don't. Right? So that's that. Let's go over to the laboratory. We'll talk about this, right, in the learning lab in a minute or two. But first I want to open this guy up and take a good look inside. Right? So let's go do that. But first, let's go to the amplifier right over there and do the tap test on the little guy. Right on the practice amplifier. See if his electronics are working. See you in the laboratory. Welcome back to the laboratory. How are you? So we just took it to the amp, did the old tap test. Both pickups work like a charm. You know, it's pretty much on and off. That's all we got here, on and off. Tone knob works. Everything works smashingly. I don't even know if I want to unscrew this and spray it with any kind of, you know what I mean, cleaner, because it's working so well. Now, the big mystery here is why? 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 For what reason? I don't think I want to know that either. You know what I mean? I don't want to even see if there's damage under there. We just did this for the fuck of it. No idea. I'm not going to figure that out either. Two things we do need to resolve, though. This and this. Now, we'll deal with this in a little bit. But this we see has been dissected with missing screws. You know what I'm saying? Things are just unhappy in old Tremoloville, man. Somebody at one point needed a spring. And this guy was sitting in the closet. And he goes, remember that old Swinger? This is definitely a Kingston Swinga. And we'll reproduce that thing for you. You can see exactly where the shield has been removed. But the first thing I want to concern myself with, because we might have to order some parts, and that might be a lengthy process. I want to crack this guy open and see exactly what we need. I might actually have, I have a whole bunch of, Bigsby springs. So let's see what we need. Let's see what we don't need. Let's see what's going to fix this old gal. Might just be a spring. I'll see when we're cracked open. It's not what's cracked up to be. I swear to you. I swear. All right, everybody. So we got it unscrewed. And we pulled it off. And sure enough, it's just missing the spring. And I looked right at the spring base. And I said, that's just like a regular old Bigsby B5 type spring. You know what I'm saying? And I should have a whole bunch of them because I ordered, one of them for another project. And I think I got like 5 or 10 of them or something like that. And then I remembered during the pandemic that I sold a lot of stuff on eBay and I could not find any in the drawer. And I was like, I gotta order another one. You know what I mean? God damn it. Always happens to me. So I was about to fucking cry the blues, and then I found it in another drawer. And there was one. I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I did save one. I said, let's just hope that, you know what I mean? Because sometimes these import tremolos, you know what I mean, are like the wrong and long. I was trying to do this though. Left-handed is always fun. But no, alas, it fits right in there. Right on the base, right where it belongs to be. You know what I mean? You can already feel it springing back to life. So we got to screw it back on. Unfortunately, there were only 4 screws. Right? I looked through my screw drawer. This looks like a regular old Fender pickguard screw. That's number 4 half-inch Phillips. Here's one from the bag. And I put it up with one of the candidates from the actual mechanism. I mean, it's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? Take a good look at that. Get out of here. I'm trying to make a comparison with your brother. You always want to be the big star, don't you? See, it looks almost perfect. You know what I mean? So let's totally screw this guy in. We'll check the springiness of his arm. Then we'll move on to this jerk off. Right? Hey, hey, that's not acceptable. Hey, that's my cousin here. All right? Hey, hey, hey. Right? So I'll see you in a moment. There it is, man. All screwed up again. All the strings are above board. When we do this, we can see them all moving around. Tremolo works as it should. It's great, man. We're 1000% on that respect. Now let's talk about this, man. What about our bridge friend? Now, if we look at a photograph of our guitar in its mint-shaped condition, let's take a good look at it. What's on there is just the standard old Kawai Tiesco bar bridge, you know, which I have a base right here for. And we know that this thing fits 1,000,000% because we line it up with these screw holes. And if we do it prudently at this juncture, it's 1,000,000%. And that's a good thing because we like to be 1,000,000%. And we like things to look nice. But for some reason, this just doesn't seem very glorious. Doesn't seem very dignified. I kind of want to specialize this instrument a little bit because I got 1,000,000 of these guitars. And if it's a Swinga by Kingston, I wanted the top of the line Swinga by Kingston, even though it probably didn't ever come like this. So I want to put a roller bridge on it. Now, Tiesco in like the late 60s, 70s had a chrome roller bridge, which is essentially that bass right there, but with a Gretsch style, you know what I mean, roller system. These were generally on Kimberly instruments made by Kawai. Here's one on a Kimberly Instruments. I mean, these had the gold foil. You know what I mean? It was usually like a late 60s thing, early 70s thing. There were not many instruments that had this. Usually ones with the tremolo, usually top of the line, you know, 2, 3 pickups. Sometimes there were 4 pickup ones. You know what I mean? It was usually reserved for a nice guitar. You know, you can see it in action. It looks nice. It's essentially, you know what I mean, just a thing going through. So this is very expensive to actually find one of these. You know what I mean? You're going to pay a lot of money for one of these. But Geiger makes one. Geiger, man, those old bootleg parts. I think they got most of the old machining equipment. You know what I mean? For, you know, all the old Gretsch and Gibson stuff. And here it is, man. You know what I'm saying? This is it. So I'm thinking, you know what I mean? I might have to shorten the pole a little tiny bit, of course. You know what I'm saying? Cut it down to size. But I think once we cut it down to size and we get this guy, you know what I mean, on there, you know, I think it's good. So let's crack open this package. We'll have a whole bunch of extra little parts too. You know what I mean? See if we can't, you know, make ourselves proud. We're going to be proud, Nell. You too, Marvin. Jeb. Nell. W. Whoever else I got. All proud. Let's cut it open and take a good look how much we're going to cut off and see if it's possible. All right. So we have it pretty much marked off where we have to cut it. We've done our scientific experiments and measurements and everything. We're ready to go. Now you can see this thing has like a little lock on the bottom where it goes in. And like you can like lock it at whatever position, you know what I mean, perfectly. This one, this side appears to be locked. It's really tight. It's good. So we're just going to take this guy off. I'll let you back on there. Don't worry about it. We're going to put him in this little vise. We'll wrap, you know, cloth around him. Put him in this vise. And just cut him off the appropriate place with the Dremel tool, man. The Dream Isle with the large cutting wheel. Right? Hopefully we won't mess it up. Otherwise we'll be at the hardware store later trying to find a bolt that's long enough and that's the correct thread. So I'll see you when it's cut. Or some people say, who like Nirvana, when it's Kurt. I'll see you when it's Kurt, man. Only hang out with Kurt, bro. Alright? So I'll see you in 1.21 jigwatts. Cut to the perfect size. Fits perfectly. Fits beautifully. Right, and then we took the cutting wheel off. We mounted the tool right into the vise to use it to sort of clean off the, you know what I mean, all the riffraff off the back. So it was like perfect looking. And what we're going to do now is we're going to lock this bar in place with the little Allen key. And I got these 2 screws here, which totally fit the bill. We're going to put her on, man. We're going to hook them up, man. Hook them up, man. Hook them up. So I'll see you when it's hooked up. Right, and then we'll talk about, right, see you in a moment. All right, so we got it all locked up. You know what I mean? It's a solid piece, nice and flat. Fits on here perfectly. Got this guy screwed down. Right, that's all screwed up in the perfect manner. We're looking at this guy. We can see the exact outline, the oval outline of what once belonged, man. What once belonged in my little space. Well, here's a mint, vision of what it was supposed to look like. You see that Swinger logo. Now, we'll have to comb the internet for one that looks exactly like that, but like really good quality. Now, I think there were some that were up here. I think there were even some Swingers that had like a 3-in-3 kind of headstock, like a Gibson kind of headstock. And I think that was right in the middle. So we'll try to find the best quality, Swinger oval logo that we can. And I'm going to see you in the learning lab. I'm going to show you how we're going to duplicate this beautiful metallic looking gem so we can put it right on our own old Swinger, man. We can swing together, right? So I'll see you in the learning lab in 1 and 2 and 3 for 2024. Welcome back to the learning laboratory. So we found a pretty high resolution, picture of this. It's a little dark though, so we brought it into Photoshop and we lightened it up a little bit and we cleaned it up just a slight bit. And then we had to go through the painful process of turning it into line art. Line art, is a difficult thing. So we just messed with it a little bit, got it into the line art, Then we cut it down to size, kept the sort of, background around it so we know where to cut it out. So that's always a good thing, And then we reversed it. Flip it up and reverse it. And we cleaned up that image as good as we could. We printed out a test sheet of a couple of them, right? And we cut out one from the corner. And we put it on the instrument right where it should be. And it looked great. And we were like all, high-fiving ourselves because we are only one person. So then we printed out an entire transparency sheet of them all. A whole bunch of them. So I'll see you in the laboratory where we're going to finish up a little experimental. Right? Our experimental. See you in a moment. Okay, so now we got it sitting face down on a piece of white paper. It's got the toner side up to us. It's backwards, right? So we got this aluminum foil tape, which is, adhesive on the back side of it. It's got adhesive on the matte side of it, I should say. Every piece of aluminum foil, as you know, has a shiny side to it and has got like a matte side on the other side of it. That's okay because these badges are matte, shaded. They're not like chrome looking bullshit. So we just cut, a section of this. You can even cover 4 of them, cover 8 of them, whatever you want to do. And we'll just select the best and cut it out. So I'm going to, cut a little piece of this, maybe cover up 4 of them. We'll put this away if we ever need it again. I can't imagine ever, restoring more than 4 Swinger guitars in the next 20 years, right? And I'm not going to be doing it much more than 20 years, guys. So let's pretty much, cover a couple of them. Take a look, find the best one. I'll see you then. All right, so it's on there pretty good. We pretty much flattened it down. We took a piece of paper, a real soft, polishing cloth, and we took this roller and we just, right on the cloth, real, hard and strong until that toner sort of, you could see it very clearly. We were able to cover 6 of them with a little tiny piece of, snip. So let's flip it around. I haven't actually taken a look at it yet. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, look at those. Like perfect. So we'll just pick out the best one and we'll, set this aside for now because this instrument is still dirty. We still got to do some things to it. So the first thing I want to do, I want to take it, fret the leveler and just run it up and down this thing. It feels like it's pretty good. I don't feel anything weird. It looks like there was actually a fret job done to this, not too long ago. Some of these look like they're a little bit flat on top, which is, a sign of a, homemade fret job. But it feels pretty level. It feels good. We'll just run that level across there and see if, see if we need to actually do a full-blown fret job. I'll see you at that point, people. All right, so we did a fret job on it quickly. See that this fret was a little high, and like these 3 frets up here. So it could have been just like neck curve there, which is not usually a good thing, but it is what it is, right? So we also took a soft sanding block to the sides, and the round over is gorgeous now. We're going to reshape some of these You know what I mean? Recrown them. Some of them are a little flat. You know what I'm saying? Flat. Binary. You know what I'm saying? We want to get them back crowny left. We're going to do it up. I'll see you at that point. Or pernt. Whatever you prefer. Alright, so we got the frets whipped back into some kind of semblance, some kind of shape. They were really flat, some of them. And some of them was just ugly. So we're going to finish the deal. A little piece of steel wool. Some mineral Earl. It's just smeared in there, you know what I mean? Kind of smooth out the frets a little bit further, you know what I'm saying? Get all the tooling marks off there. And then we'll be happy, right? So I'll see we're all greased up. And also rejuvenate the old rosewood while we're at her. While we're at her. See you in a moment. Now that's the greasy meatball. So we got it really, really greased up, but we cleaned it so well. And we also made sure that every one of those frets was real smooth. No, you know what I mean, signs of like, they're just beautiful. Beautiful U-shaped frets. Perfectly shaped. Mineral oil, man, a little bit of elbow grease, man. Piece of steel wool. So we'll let this set. Let it settle about 25, 35 minutes. 40 minutes, and then we'll wipe it down. We'll want to wipe it down then. So I'll see after we've been wiped. After we've been wiped, then we'll continue the process. The processes. I'll see you then. You greasy old varmint. See that? You see how glorious it looks now that we wiped it off? This is rich, creamy, beautiful. So, now let's talk about cleaning things up. Now, I thought these were scratches. I thought this thing was just like really hella scratched, you know what I mean? It's fucked up. Then I realized this, wow, this thing's got scratched up too. And I looked at this and I was like, and I realized that that's like some kind of scum, you know what I mean? Here, I just take this right off here. You see how it's like wiping off? I was able to sort of clean that off using like a piece of steel wool. Comes off. So I was like, oh, this is some kind of like, you know what I mean, scum, you know what I mean? But I can't use a piece of steel wool, so I got to now just pick this off, you know what I mean, with something. Figure it out, you know what I mean? It's all over the place. It's here, it's there, it's here, it's here, the whole glob of it over here. I mean, other than that, you know what I mean, it's pretty good shape. So let's try to get that off somehow. We'll meet back up after we've gotten it off. And I'll tell you how exactly we got it off then. Right? Can't use that steel wool. Fish be right here. Always. There it is, man. It was soluble by alcohol, man. Rubbing alcohol. That's why I call it like rubbing alcohol, man. Because you gotta rub the shit out of this motherfucker. It's gone now. You know what I mean? A lot of elbow grease and just like straight up 70% alcohol. So, that's good, man. What's next? It's a little dirty, man. Let's use a little bit of polish, man. This is 2.7% kielbasa grease. Like almost unleaded, you know what I mean? Not too much real kielbasa in this batch right here. It's mostly artificial like the Chinese like. Right? So let's just polish it up a little bit, man. And I'll see it on the second minute. So we got it all polished up. It's the next day. Wiped all the grease that seeped out of this thing over the evening. You know what I'm saying? We polished everything with a cheap old furniture polish. We took a little bit of a magic erase sponge, cleaned up the knobs a little bit, cleaned up the areas, you know, here where there was, you know, I mean, just a little bit of detailing, as they say. So it looks good. Let's give it a little bit of a seal. I got some arms to put on everything, with the exception of this rosewood fretboard. That we're going to have a little bit of paste wax. Put that on there. Usually I would use Butcher's bowling alley wax, but, you know, kind of low on it, and it's very, very scarce right now because it hasn't been made in 20 years, so it's like hard to get a supply, man. Hey, man, it's hard to get some lemons now, bro. You know, my man got fucking popped, man. He was the only conduit for old lewds, bruh. So, this is it, man. Let's get it all super shine, super shine, right? I'm just hoping that I don't have to like open up this weird thing to put the shim in there, and I hope that, you know, the action turns out to be somewhat bearable with this little contraption. Right? It's a contropiate. Let's get it all super Sony. Super Sony, super shiny. Super shiny. Oh. Mm. 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 Looks great. It really, like, you know what I mean? Probably in 55 years. You know what I mean? It's the best it's been since it had its back brace put on. That was my PT boat. Got destroyed. I rescued all the men. I swam them to shore to safety. That's what a hero is. So, it's just beautiful, man. You know what I mean? It's just went from, like, I thought it was all scratched up to, like, being, like, you know, perfect, like, original condition finish, you know? Man. Look at this gorgeous rosewood, too. You know what I'm saying? Get your greasy head off my couch. So now it's time, you know what I mean? We got everything all shined up. I kept the wax away from this little area of glue, which I still didn't pry off. So, I got this guy all cut out, the greatest of the greats. You know what I'm saying? Let's cut him out very, very carefully. I'll see at that print. Right? Don't print at me, man. That's kind of rude. So there it is. All cut out. We're going to just put a little bit of rubber cement on here. A little bit of rubber cement on there. A little rubber cement, man. Old-fashioned rubber cement. See if we can do it with just the old RC, man. RC Cola. You know what I'm saying? See in a moment. Looks great. Looks like it's been there for, you know what I mean, 5 decades. Isn't that a great thing, man? So we still have one more conundrum that I kind of want to solve, that I can solve in a relatively easy manner. Oh, sorry there, Trem. Tremity, true. Right here you can see like the faint outline of adhesive. Maybe not so much that I put a little bit of wax on it. But there was a little sticker there that said made in Japan. Looked like this. Well, it didn't look like all of them. But basically what I did a couple of years ago, I believe I did this on video, so I don't know which one it was for, but I got like a big sheet of this gold adhesive. It was usually for like a wall, you know, what, some kind of wallpaper kind of thing at Michael's. It was a huge sheet of this gold, you know, slightly metallic adhesive sticker thing. And I just printed made in Japan on it, you know, right off of, you know, a sticker I had that I scanned in. And many years later, we're living happily ever after, right? Just cut one of these out carefully. Put it right here underneath there, and I'll see in half of a mermaid. Just a half a mermaid, right? I'm proud to be Japanese now. Back then, they peeled it off like fuck the enemy. Do you see that? People who like know these guitars and know that label, like say like, wow, that looks good. Wow, man, that looks perfect, bro. Bobby, you've done it again. So look at that, man. You know what I'm saying? Looks like in 1967, I just put the guitar in the closet because Sergeant Pepper blew me out, man. I was blown out, man. So we can put this guy on, man. Stay strong. Don't be long. All right? Ready to go, man. Ready for the war. Get down, motherfucker. Now, usually at this point, I like throw like a little cheap set of bullshit strings at you. Like, hey, you're gonna throw these fucking jerk off strings on here. This time, man, we're gonna put some real guitar strings on there, man. Real strings, man. You know what I'm saying? I actually bought them at Guitar Center for like, was it $6.99 or something like that? Whatever the cheapest shit is. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy, man. He bought a whole bunch of like clarinet reeds or something off me one time, man. Peace be with you, my man, Diodario. See you at the glamour shots, right? When we get glamorous, we'll be glamorous. We'll have a glamorous old time. We'll have a glamorous time. Yabba dabba doo. Well, my. Oh, 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 Wilma, you really are a natural redhead. Oh, oh, oh. Barney, what the fuck are you doing? This isn't the glam shots. We're still here in the workshop. Hey, man, I have to concede failure. First thing I put it on, and it was just too tall. I mean, it was just too high. Action was just too high. So I took the flywheels off of it, right? And I was like, yeah. I mean, I got the flywheels off, and it gives me an extra little string. And the action's okay. I mean, it's a little tiny bit high, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? But then I realized I just can't get these strings to line up correctly. You know what I'm saying? I just can't do it. I can't get them over the pole piece. Now, if I pull this all the way out here and stick it in the Netherlands, I'm almost there. You know what I mean? But it's killing the string. You know what I mean? We're not getting any. You know what I'm saying? It's not good, man. So I have to admit defeat. I cannot use this fucking cool roller bridge. That was the whole cool fucking point of my episode, man. That's what I was trying to achieve, man. I was trying to do something special for you. Just because the way life is, man, I can't even fucking do that. So anyway, to add insult to injury here, I actually had one of these on hand. I always keep one of these. Another Geiger part. Hey, man, I had to break it, man, just for this one little fucking top piece because I didn't have any of the bar ones. These usually have like the big bar that goes across. I showed you the picture earlier. You can go back and take a look at it. But I have to take this piece off here, man. This is the top of the regular old issue. This is from like the 70s. You had like a big thick bar, like right up to the end of the 60s. And then in the 70s, I had one of these fucking things. It's stomped, not cast. Right? But, however, if I put this motherfucker right where it should be, come on, work with me, people. Work with me. You know what I mean? We'll be able to line up where we're supposed to be over the pickup. You know, the strings will be in the right place. You know what I mean? After I take this fucking joker off, and now that I cut it down so small, I'll probably never be able to use it on the bridge. So I'll have to go find a threaded bar that's of the right thing, and then cut that, man. You know what I mean? It's gonna be fucking pain in the ass, man. It's a waste of a nice little fucking piece that I could have just kept in my drawer. You know what I'm saying? I'm only human. I'm supposed to make mistakes. It's the peaceful way in 2024, man. So this guy, we'll see him at the glam shots in 1, 2. Mm-hmm. So our grand return to our beloved 6-string. It's just a shattered dream, man. This piece resolved all of our problems, although we had to take some little piece of chewed up paper towel like a fucking bumblebee and stick it under some of those strings to keep the buzzes out. The correct thing would have been to like finally file them down and fill them up with graphite, perhaps, all kinds of other bullshit things. This I always find to be pretty effective. I mean, the string gets like petrified into the little holes, man, and all the other little pieces eventually wear away. Especially if it's an instrument you don't really use too often. Shortcuts, kid. Shortcuts, kid. It's great. The whole thing sort of looks like a great sort of, late Christmas present. Nobody would know if I didn't talk about this whole thing as being the major part of the project. It'd be like, oh, you did a great job, kid. Now, what's this all about? I think it's really to give the guitar a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Sustain a little bit more solidity, man. That's what I'm honestly thinking it is. What other eyes, man? This thing is fucking gorgeous. I love these. Hound Dog Taylor. So let's hear it, man. You know what I'm saying? We can sit around here talking all day about how pretty it is. Ain't she pretty balls? Yeah, she's real pretty balls. Can I tend to the rabbits, George? Right? We're gonna live off the fat of the land, Lenny. Let's hear it, man. And then we can say, peace be with you. Look after yourself. Peace be with you. Look after yourself. Yes, that's the Swinga by Kingston. He's such a Swinga guy. He's never with the same broad more than once, except for that one time. He was with the broad twice, but he didn't know because she changed the color of her hair, you see. It's both pickups, man. Hey man, so that's both pickups. That's the next pickup. This is the bridge pickup. Both pickups, man. I never really knew too much about the true like jazziness of like the tone tour recently, man. I always just like to have the tone all the way out, as crisp and bright as possible. This is the kind of person I am. I'm a crisp, bright guy, man. So I hope your February is going pretty fab for you. February, man. Going through a Marshall Valve State 100V. I got a Sun Vertical 412 from 1968. Life is good, people. It's cold outside, but it's warm down here, man. So there's a song that my daughter, my youngest daughter, is around 12 years old. Her generation, and my oldest daughter is around 15, 16, 17. That generation, you know. They sort of embrace as their own. And I never really heard it until I went to my first like daddy-daughter dance. I was like, I kind of like this song. Turns out the song had been recorded when I was like 12 years old, and I didn't even know about it really until recently. It was one of those gems that was like unearthed by like the current generation. So we might not be totally screwed, folks. The band's actually a Liverpudlian band. You know what that means? Yes, very good. They're from Liverpool, England. And who else is from Liverpool, England? That's right. Elvis Costello, you're right. So, this band recorded a song many years ago. And it goes something like, there we go, a little bit of dirt. There she goes again, rushing down my brain, and no one can complain, just feeling that rain. Hey man, there she goes by the Laws, man. Liverpudlian band recorded back in the 80s, man. The 80s. Marty, come to me right now. I have something to show you. You must take off all your clothes. I mean, I didn't mean that. Erase that. Doc, what's wrong with you, my friend? Make some friends your own age. You know what I'm saying?